Well, the time is just gone 5:34 p.m. and less than an hour towards iftar here in Johannesburg, and it's a time of the broadcast where we bring you our Palestine feature, as we do before we hand over to Maulana Yunus Kawanga to take you through to the time of iftar and to bring you news out of Gaza and out of Palestine. And this afternoon, we are talking with Dr. Ahmed Maqdma, plastic surgeon at the now decommissioned Al Shifa Hospital, providing us with an insight on the lived realities of medical workers in Gaza, particularly in this month of Ramadan. Dr. Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for interviewing me.
Yes, Jazakallah khairan so much for joining us now. I know it is the month of Ramadan. It has not been easy as well for the people of Gaza. And as we normally do here on Salam Media at this time, we bring about, again, some information, some news with regard to what is taking place. And the health workers, we know for a very, very long time, was the destruction of the health infrastructure has not been easy. And I'm sure right now, as you are talking to me, the situation is still very, very critical.
Yes, you said, I'm talking to you, and the situation and the health, particularly the health situation, is very catastrophic. Unfortunately, the health system in Gaza Strip and in Gaza City especially collapsed due to targeting by the occupational army to the health system by targeting healthcare workers, doctors and nurses, targeting the hospital and destroying the hospital, targeting the paramedics and the ambulances, and prevent the consumables, drugs, and medicine to reach Gaza. So the health system in Gaza Strip during this genocide war towards Gaza is on a target for an occupational army, and they clarify that they targeting hospitals and healthcare workers. And unfortunately, due to this targeting, the health system is collapsed. So the care of the patient, we had struggle and faced many difficulties to take care of the patient and injured patient in Shifa Hospital and other hospitals in Gaza Strip.
Yes, and also, Dr. Ahmed, the reality on the ground is, we can talk, but we cannot imagine what a difficult situation or what a difficult position health workers are placed in at this point in time, in terms of how they continue, how they do their work, but also survive on a day-to-day basis, because you are healthcare workers, but you are also human. And at the end of the day, things obviously are not easy. And if you could perhaps just take us through, this experience of being a healthcare worker, especially in a situation where we see so much brutality, we see this genocide, we see this catastrophe that is unfolding.
As you mentioned, you can't imagine. Actually, myself, I didn't imagine what I live now and the situation I live now. In my worst nightmare, I cannot imagine what the situation to live and to take care of patients in a situation like this. The situation that the hospitals actually not hardly functional and partially functional, and due to the targeting, as you said, we are human, and the doctors and healthcare workers are human, but due to that, unfortunately, most the occupation killed more than 370 for healthcare workers and arrested and kidnapping more than 280 healthcare workers. And because of that, few number of healthcare workers remains in the hospital taking care of the patient. They, as I, for example, me and my colleagues in the Shifa Hospital, taking this as a message, and we should take care of our people. Unless we do that, we'll do taking care of our people. This our priority now, to take care of our people, despite the struggle we face. We had a struggle to because we didn't see our families, we didn't receive salaries, we didn't have enough amount of food. We starved as our patients starving. We complain of malnutrition as our patients had malnutrition. We killed and we could be kidnapped as other our patients being victims of this genocide. But we say we see this as a message, a humanitarian message toward our people here and our community in Gaza, to take care of them. Unless we do that, the health system will be totally collapsed, and then there is no health advice or health care to the people here in Gaza. So we will achieve the target of occupation, that if there is no health system and if there is no health care, the people will start to look about migration from Gaza.
Well, certainly. And also, Dr. Ahmed, a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity of talking to a Canadian doctor who spent about 8 days in Gaza at Rafah, and she was then asked to leave. But there is just so much that she had actually spoken, and she spoke about the healthcare workers, about the difficulty under which you operate. And as you correctly mentioned as well, Dr. Ahmed, there is no difference between being a medical worker and a patient, because whatever the patient is suffering is what you are suffering. We are now in the month of Ramadan, and I'm sure this month of Ramadan also with medical workers fasting. We've heard about starvation. We heard about people not knowing where the next meal is coming from, or if they ever getting a meal as well. And I'm sure even in this month of Ramadan, you are challenged as medical workers just as much as your patients, and the millions and the thousands upon thousands who have been displaced in Gaza in general.
As you said, the doctors and healthcare workers in the same situation as the patients and the injured people. No difference. We face the starvation the same. I had no food. I had no enough food to eat. As my patient have no food. I'm in an insecure situation, and my patient in an insecure situation. My home is destroyed by an occupational airstrike, and my patient he is injured while airstrike from occupation destroyed his home and get him injured. The same situation, but the what difference that I'm not yet be a victim or badly injured to not continue my medical care towards the patient.
Yes. And, I'm just looking at a tweet that has come through from this doctor, Dr. Fawzia Alvi, who was in Gaza for about 8 days. And she says, I thought about Gazans before breaking my fast today. I thought about my fellow doctors who are surviving on a can of lentils for days. They are my true heroes who kept on taking care of their patients while being bombed. Many got killed, many got arrested. And this is now this is the stark reality of medical workers. And this is from a doctor out of Canada who spent 8 days in Gaza, and these were her observations. And this is a message that he is sending out to the rest of the world with regard to the plight of the medical workers in Gaza.
Yes, as the doctor you interview her, or she tell your story about the 8 days which she spent, or she or her, or she or he spent in Rafah in 8 days. Here, the healthcare worker here in Gaza City and North Governorate of Gaza spent 159 days in the horrible situation more than Rafah. And thank to her, thank to the doctor which came from outside to stay with us 8 days and to try to help our colleague in Rafah. But in Gaza City, the situation more dangerous and more catastrophic, and unfortunately, the occupation prevent any aid and any doctors or any crew to come and help us. We are the few amount of healthcare worker, which is local team, without any support from outside, and that is a heavy load on us. Because we are a few amount of healthcare worker without any help and without human help, which is will be expert surgeon or expert doctor to come and help us, and without the good amount of consumables and with drugs to treat the patient. And the situation, I will try. I can't find words to simplify to transfer the picture on the real picture here from Gaza to outside. If anyone can came to Gaza, he will know what I'm talking about and what the media talking about.
Well, certainly, Dr. Ahmed. In fact, I know sometimes words cannot express enough what the
Yes.
reality is on the ground as well. But inshallah, we continue providing coverage. We will continue making dua. We will continue providing whatever support we can, or promoting people to actually support the cause of the people of Palestine, inshallah. And you are in our duas, the medical workers are in our duas, the people of Palestine are in our duas as well, inshallah. And we hope that this Ramadan will be a turning point, and more importantly, to ease the pain, to ease the plight of the people of Gaza, our brave brothers and sisters who have actually given it all and paid the ultimate price, made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of Masjid al-Aqsa, but also at the same time in defense of your freedom and your liberties. So Jazakallah for your time and for taking time out this afternoon with us right here on Salam Media. Dr. Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam. But can I forward a message for to South Africa people through your radio?
Please go ahead, Doctor.
In this Ramadan, actually, we the most people we thank for them in this world is that the people of South Africa, and because they support their government in the court, in the criminal court, against the occupation who kill us, and we see your action and what you do for us, and we ask you to continue that, and we're very pleased to know that there is people in this world truly support us in the international court against the occupation.
Inshallah, Jazakallah for that message, Dr. Ahmed. And as I mentioned, you are in our du'as. The people of Palestine are in our du'as, and we will continue in our unwavering support for the people of Palestine, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dr. Ahmed Maqdma with us this afternoon right here on Salam Media, and talking about the challenges that medical staff have been facing at the now decommissioned Al Shifa Hospital. There is absolutely no difference there is nothing to differentiate between a medical or healthcare service provider and the ordinary people. Exactly the same situation, exactly on the receiving end of the massacres, the killing, the starvation, all of that. Whatever people are experiencing on the ground is exactly what medical people, and they still carry that extra responsibility. They carry that extra burden in caring for the patients. And with that, before we sign off, just to remind you once again that Ahmed Sharia, South Africa's first and only fully Sharia compliant family medical takaful and wellness product, wishes all listeners Ramadan Kareem. Download the Emma app today and get a free immediate access to the Emma Sharia collection of du'as, hadith, Quran, and much more. And what's that? I'm going to be signing off. The time is just here at 10 minutes to 6, in about close to 40 minutes from time, the time of iftar in Johannesburg. So for now, I'm going to hand you over to none other than our respected Maulana Yunus Kawanga, who will take you through to the time of iftar. From myself and the team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.